All right. Good afternoon, everyone. This is the State Expedited Accusations calendar in the State Court of Fulton County, Georgia. I am Judge Melanie Williams, and this calendar is for those individuals who have been recently arrested, but the cases have already been formally accused and bound over to state court. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney at this proceeding. This particular proceeding is being broadcast over the internet as a live stream. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch it. When I ask if you understand your rights, that is what I am referring to. Miss Holly, what is I'm sorry, Miss Bridgewater, what is my reset date?
November the 28th.
All right, those who receive a surety or cash bond will be reset to state all purpose on November the 28th. Those who receive a signature bond, whether through pretrial or the jail, will be reset for the notice. And also, all parties, please do not put any information in the chat. I rarely read it. All right, let's begin. Who do we have at the jail?
Position number 12.
Oh, I'm sorry. Before I begin, have all defense attorneys had the opportunity to interview their clients?
Your Honor, actually, I do have one client that I have not been able to interview.
Okay, who did you not interview, Miss Kim?
Thomas Monica at ACDC South Annex.
Okay, when ACDC logs in, we'll see if we can put you in a breakout. Miss Watson Cafe, have you had the opportunity to interview everybody?
No, I only have one conflict today, but I think they said they're gonna have to reset her. I think they said she wasn't cooperating, so I don't really know.
Who's your client?
Her last name is Boykins, Diamond Boykins.
Boykins.
Is position 2 going to be brought today? Does anyone at courtroom 2 know?
No, Boykin, she was very combative. She's just not cooperating today.
Okay, so Miss Watson Cafe, what we're gonna do is if you can try to speak to her between now and then, I know that's hard, and maybe waive her appearance, we'll reset her till tomorrow. And then from there, we'll proceed.
Okay, I'm gonna have a conflict tomorrow. I know that there's other, conflict attorneys.
Okay,
I will have other appearances, but they can certainly get another attorney available.
Okay. All right. So yeah. Well, okay. So hopefully Miss McLeod will appear tomorrow, but then we'll still have the same issue. Can somebody at the public defender's office maybe send Miss McLeod a message that there might be somebody to speak to her before tomorrow, since we know Miss Watson Cafe is conflicted? Okay.
And Your Honor, I haven't been able to interview Jartavius Johnson. He's position 11.
Okay. And I'm sorry, go ahead, Mrs. Heck.
And I also wanted to request a breakout room for him, Johnson, position 11, and Mahachi, position 15.
Okay. Can Ms. Atai give position 11 a call at courtroom 2? Will that work?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, so I'll write down that you want breakout, so we'll do those cases at the end. And can you call is there a number she can call?
Yeah, hold on one second.
Okay.
Yeah, she can call 22392.
Okay. You have that number, Mr. Ty?
22392. I don't know if I'll be able to call with that.
Oh, she doesn't know the leading numbers. What's the entire number?
612.
612.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Miss Holly. I'm sorry, Miss Bridgewater. All right, let's begin with position 12. Before we begin, any other? Oh, Miss Watson Cafe, you're free to go. Take care.
Thank you.
Have a great afternoon. See you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you, Ms. Kim, for being willing to ask Ms. McLeod about position 2. If she can get that position to waive the appearance for tomorrow so we don't have the same issue, hopefully. All right. Any other announcements before we begin with position 12? All right. All right. Are you Alexis King?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Your case is 23 CR 007077J. In this case, you're charged with battery family violence with the offense date of November the 14th. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Howard, can I have her history, please?
Seven total. 2020 battery DV, first offender. I got a simple battery and disorderly conduct that was dismissed. 2019 battery, disorderly conduct that was dismissed. 2013 obstruction, battery dismissed. Jail was a recommendation.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Ms. Dunlap, please proceed.
Your Honor. So this incident stems from the 14th of November. Officers responded to a domestic disturbance at 3000 Continental Colony Parkway. They saw defendant was in a dispute with, it looks like, a Mr. McRathby, that's spelled McRathbey, regarding the custody of, I guess it's both of their kids or her kids. After the defendant placed her kids in the car, the victim opened the passenger side door of her car. As he was opening the door, defendant got out and they got into a physical altercation. The defendant ended up biting the victim on his back and then scratched him on his neck. The state is looking for a signature bond through pretrial, a stay away from 3000 Continental Colony Parkway, no further contact with the victim, Colin McCarthy, family violence intervention program, and no guns, drugs, or alcohol or weapons while on bond.
I'm sorry. The last name was McRel. I'm sorry. Pronounce the victim's last name again, if you can.
I don't want to mispronounce it. McElrathbey.
All right. Is anyone on the line with that last name who would like to make a statement? First name Colin. Okay. I am sounding for the victim. I feel that we've sounded sufficiently and no one has responded. Mr. Ty, please proceed.
Yes, my client is a 31-year-old mother of 3. She denies the allegations. She states that she has been trying to get away from the complaining witness, who is abusive and controlling. She has been accepted into a domestic violence, not a shelter, but an apartment housing. And she's planning to move there November 20th. She's fine with a stay away from 3000 Continental Colony Parkway and a stay away. She says that she has a restraining order against Mr. McElrathbey. And she has an associate's degree in healthcare, a bachelor's degree, and halfway through a master's degree. So she's really just trying to get away from the situation with him, denies the allegation. So we're requesting a signature bond through the jail. She's recommended.
All right. Defendant will receive a $5,000 signature bond through pretrial per judge level 2. She is to take the 1-day anger awareness course, have no contact with the alleged victim, and stay away from that address. She can return one time with a member of law enforcement should she need to get any items. Additionally, she's to have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons. Is there anything additional?
That's all, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you. That concludes your case.
Position number 3, Cruz, Angelo Cruz.
Okay. Has Mr. Cruz, was he online to hear his rights?
He should have been, yes.
Okay, Mr. Cruz, your case is 23 CR 007079F. In this case, you're charged with criminal trespass and terroristic threats. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard, can I have that history, please?
First arrest, level 1.
Okay. All right, Ms. Dunlap, please proceed.
Your Honor, so this incident stems from the 13th of November. Officers responded to a call from a Tyshawn Bowie. He stated that he and defendant had taken an ecstasy pill and smoked marijuana. The defendant started to act weird and began to verbally insult him, calling him gay. He stated at one point, the defendant stated to him, "You don't know me and I will kill you." Mr. Bowie asked the defendant to leave his home. The defendant told him again he was going to kill him. Mr. Bowie escorted the defendant out of the residence, and the defendant began to kick and bang on the door. Mr. Bowie noticed that he left his keys, shoes, and cell phone in the apartment, and when he attempted to give it to him through the window, the defendant climbed through the window and threw his items back into the residence. They began to scuffle. It looks like the victim pulled out the defendant's pocket knife and somehow stabbed the defendant somewhere. The defendant then chased the victim around the apartment complex where they both were confronted by another resident. Officers claimed he appeared to be disoriented and rambled. The bond is the signature bond through the jail. The paperwork was sent off to diversion. If we'd like to participate, we just need the public defender's office to return that paperwork. Stay away from 140 Tree Lodge Parkway. That's the victim's address. And no guns, drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
Okay, and the last name is Bowie or Boy. Can you spell that? I'm sorry.
IE.
All right, is anyone with that last name on the Zoom conference and wishes to make a statement? All right, seeing none, Ms. Abden.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
So I just sent over the paperwork for diversion. Just for the record, my client does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant. He has agreed to participate in diversion. And so we will be requesting a signature bond through the jail. And I can present a further bond argument if Your Honor would like to hear it.
All right, no, that's sufficient. Defendant will receive a $5,000 signature bond through the jail, $1,000 on the criminal trespass and $4,000 on the terroristic threats, for the total of $5,000. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim, stay away from the address on Treelawn, I think Park was the address, and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I just filled out the paperwork. I'm just trying to make sure that he doesn't reside at that address.
Would you like to ask your client?
Yes, please. So Mr. Cruz, is that your address? The let's see.
1401 Tree Lodge Parkway.
May I speak?
No, keep your minutes going. Oh, he has a different, his is one, it's a different number, same street. So I just wanted to make sure it wasn't his address.
Okay, so based upon the information that that's not his address, will allow the stay away to remain in place.
Thank you.
Oh, okay, anything additional?
That is all. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case at the time. All right, who do we have next?
Position number 28.
Hey, where?
I don't have a 28. Who's the person?
Last name Younger.
I heard 26.
Yeah, it's only 26, but we do have a Lanisha Younger.
All right, that's who I have is 26.
Yes,
All right.
26.
All right, Miss Younger, your case is 23 CR 007093C. You're charged with theft by deception. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Hart, can I have that history as well?
Third arrest. Last arrest was back on Saturday. Cherokee County, 3 counts of theft by deception. Got an open case in Cobb for RICO and 13 counts of theft by deception. Also got warrants out of Hall County, Forsyth County, Barrow County, and Rockdale. Nothing further.
All right, thank you. Ms. Kostadakis?
Yes, Your Honor. Good afternoon. The defendant entered Target and conducted a return on 2 sets of Apple AirPods. After the refund was completed, an inspection was done of the returned items, which revealed that these AirPods that she was attempting to return to Target were not the original. They were counterfeits. The defendant deprived the store of $419.98, and the defendant did the same type of fraudulent activity in other counties as well, so that there's a risk of reoffending. The state will be requesting a signature bond through pretrial services, a stay away from all targets, a theft course, and no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Ms. Kim.
Yes, Your Honor. Actually, the real person who's behind all these activity is Diamond Ragland, according to my client. Your Honor, my client was deceived by her, and she was basically doing a favor to ex-girlfriend of her son, Diamond Ragland. My client was actually a teacher when she was in New York, the Cary Ground Daycare Center. She has worked there very, very long time, and she moved to Georgia around 14 years ago to do small business and real estate. And this is what happened. She never had any other troubles except all these new charges she never knew about. She wanted to get a more stable job, but then she found out that there were warrants against her when she was running through the criminal background. So she turned herself in to the Cobb County last Wednesday, November 8, 2023, to clear all these issues that are outstanding right now. She is 52 years old, and she has 5 children who are living together, and there are 5 older children that she has, total of 10 children. She has biological 10 children. One of them, 17 years old, is disabled, and right now 22 years old son is taken care of. 4 other minor children, 13, 14, 16, and 17. And she really needs to go back home to take care of those children. Your Honor, she has high school degree. She also completed 1 year of college, and she's qualified for public defender services. Since she has all these outstanding charges, she can only be released to Hall County, Forsyth County, Barrow County. So since she's going to be in the jail for at least 5 or 7 more days, we don't know how long it will be, I would like to request signature on bond through jail. And also, Your Honor, she claims that this was the only charge that she went to turn herself in at Cobb County. So it should be a Riverside issue if that's the case. I wanted to verify, but I was not able to contact anybody at Cobb County yet.
Well,
Thanks.
I'm gonna give her a signature bond, so even if it is. All right, defendant will receive a $4,000 signature bond through the jail. She is to stay away from those. I won't say all targets. I'm sorry, what was the target in question?
It was, one moment, Your Honor.
Roswell Road.
5570. Mhm.
So she should stay away from that particular target and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. All right. That concludes Ms. Younger's case. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Next we have position number 7, Hamilton.
All right, this is Courtney Hamilton. All right. Your case is 23 CR 007081C. You're charged with battery, family violence, simple battery, family violence, and criminal trespass. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Howard.
Second arrest, 2013, afraid dismissed. Jail was the recommendation.
Okay. All right, Mr. Walker.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. One second, let me get my notes together. Sorry. Do it as follows. Okay, in this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 4075 Gillette Road in South Fulton, where they spoke to the victim, Cornelius Meadows. She advised that they were having a verbal disagreement over custody of their child. The defendant became physical with the victim. He pushed her out of the doorway. This was captured on camera. The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services. No further contact with Cornelius Meadows. Also, no further contact with Delkina Meadows. We are asking for a FBIP course, a stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And I would sound for the victims Cornelius Meadows and Delkina Meadows.
Okay. Is Delkina Meadows or Cornelius Meadows present on the Zoom conference and wishes to make a statement?
Yes.
All right, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right. I am not as concerned if about whether or not you agree with what Mr. Walker just said. What I'm most concerned with is your desires for contact with Ms. Hamilton and any concerns you have for your safety. In light of those instructions, what would you like to tell me?
Yes, ma'am. So I would like to say that this is my second time getting a TPO on her, and I went to go get the TPO done today, and I was asking the courts if they would be able to serve her with the TPO today. It involves my minor child, my daughter.
Okay, so I'm assuming you do not wish to have contact with Ms. Hamilton?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and are you concerned for your safety?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you coming to court and making that statement. Ms. Abden, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is 29 years old. She has been living in Georgia her whole life, so she has strong ties to the community. She's also gainfully employed. She works as an engineer. She's been doing that for the past 4 months. As you've heard, she has a 6-year-old child with the complaining witness. They are married, but have been separated for the past 3 months. She does not live with him at the incident location, and it's my understanding the incident location is his grandmother's house. My client denies the allegations without going too much into the facts. She basically said that she went to go pick up her daughter and Mr. Meadows had pushed her. She started defending herself, and his mother joined in. She's okay with no further contact. It sounds like, well, she wanted to continue co-parenting, but no further contact would be okay. And to stay away from the incident location, she would agree to that as well. I'm requesting a signature bond through the jail, as that was the recommendation. She barely has any criminal history to speak of. She understands her obligation to return to court, and with a no further contact and a stay away, I think that's sufficient to ensure that he is safe, the complaining witness, and she doesn't intimidate anybody further.
All right. Defendant will receive a $6,000 signature bond through pretrial, $2,000 each count. She is to have no further contact with Mr. Meadows or Miss Meadows. She can arrange transport of the child through a third party. Additionally, she's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons, and she is going to take the 1-day anger awareness course. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from defense. Thank you, Your Honor.
You said
right.
level 1?
Level 1, yes. Thank you. All right, best of luck to you, Ms. Hamilton. That concludes your case.
Next, we have position number 6.
And confirming position 6 is Michael Grimes.
Ryan Bailey.
Oh, that's not who I have at position 6.
What calendar y'all have?
Right.
That's number 1.
Position 1 is Ryan Bailey.
I'm sorry, yes, Michael Grimes. I'm looking
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yep.
That's okay. All right, Mr. Grimes, your case is 23 CR 007080A. I'm sorry, Yeah, that's correct. In that case, you're charged with simple battery family violence with the offense date of November the 14th. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Sarah, can I have the history?
32. Last was 2022 simple assault. Got a 2017 ag assault, 2016 possession of cocaine, sale of marijuana, possession of a knife or a firearm during the commission. That's dead docket. Level 2 was the recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the victim, Ms. Tiffany Thomas, was able to flag down an officer as he was driving by. The victim did have blood pouring out of her face. She advised that she was inside the home, laying down on the sofa. At that time, the defendant, for whatever reason, physically assaulted her, punching her several times in the face. The state is asking for a $1,500 surety bond. No contact with the victim, Ms. Tiffany Thomas. A stay away from the incident location, 935 North Avenue. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And of course, we assign for that victim, Ms. Tiffany Thomas.
All right. Ms. Thomas, if you are here and wish to make a statement, this is your opportunity. Okay, I don't seem to see anyone with that name. Ms. Abden, please proceed.
Your Honor, my client firmly denies the allegations. He does not know Tiffany Thomas. He does not have a child with her. He stated that she came, the incident location is where he lives, alone. He is receiving SSI, so he does there is MH, and his indigency is a concern. But he stated he does not know her, and she got into a fight with two other people outside, and she basically forced him to speak with the police, and he would be okay with a no further contact. But as I've stated, he's very confused about all of this, and he wants to be able to go back to his home. As level 2 pretrial was the recommendation, we would not object to that. But if Your Honor is inclined to grant him signature bond through the jail, that would be preferred.
Defendant will receive $1,000 surety bond. He's to have no contact with Ms. Thomas, and I'm not going to require that he stay away from that location if Ms. Thomas no longer resides there. He can return with law enforcement one time to make that determination. If she has vacated, he can reside there. If she's there, he must collect his items and stay away. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Only that, you've made your ruling, but my client doesn't have anybody to bond him out. I did try to call his brother to confirm what he was saying, just give me a little bit more information. So setting a bond for him, I believe, would be like no bond at all. His SSI amount is very low. So I am asking the court to reconsider for a pretrial signature bond.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry, I have some additional information. It's their second case together. So apparently he does know this individual, and it's my understanding they have a child together. The other case number is 22 CR 00312 So I would just ask that, the bond that you just said is maintained.
All right, the $1,000 surety will stand. I appreciate the advocacy from both the state and the defense.
Thank you.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Grimes. That concludes your case. Who do we have next?
Next, we have position number 4.
And this is Cruz Gray. I'm sorry, no, Justin Curtis.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Curtis, your case is 23 CR 0.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. I was doing an interview in the beginning when we did announcements. I'm just going to request that this be left till the end of the calendar or maybe handled in a breakout room due to the sensitive nature of the allegations.
Okay, can we come back to Mr. Curtis and do that one at the end?
Okay. Next, we have position number 10, Jackson. Where's Jackson? Come on. No. Can we do him? Can we do Johnson? I can take him back to fish.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Jackson. Your case is 23 CR 007060C. You're charged with fleeing and eluding, having no insurance, obstruction, giving a false name, have an expired title, and driving while your license was suspended. Do you understand your rights?
Good.
All right, I'll take that as a yes. Mr. Howard?
14 total. Last arrest was in the year 2000 for DUI. This was level 2.
Okay. All right, Ms. Kostadakis, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, the defendant refused to stop his vehicle after the officers signaled him verbally and any other way they could. He operated his vehicle without insurance. He hindered law enforcement by fleeing the area in a vehicle during a traffic stop. He misled the officers to the defendant's identity. He operated the vehicle without registration, and the defendant was driving while license was suspended or revoked. The state is concerned that he is a flight risk. The state will be requesting a signature bond through pretrial services. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Jackson, is 59 years old. He has been a truck driver for a long time, almost 30 years. However, ever since COVID pandemic, his business was not doing well. And on top of that, he also lost his mother during the pandemic, and it really, really hit him. I apologize, Your Honor. And I apologize.
That's okay.
He completed GED, and he has 2 part-time jobs to make a living. He works at property management, and also he works for financial lending company. But still, Your Honor, he does not have that much money right now, and he has a strong ties to the community. His sister's here. He's been here from ever since 1992, even though he was born in Missouri. So I don't think he will be a flight risk, and we would like to request for signature on bond. These are mostly traffic violations, so we would like to request for signature on bond through jail. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Kim. All right, defendant will receive hold on, I'm terrible at math. Okay, I have that he has six counts. So
Yes.
defendant will receive a $4,000 SOB through the jail, broken down as follows: 1,000, count 1, 500, count 2, 1,000, count 3, 500, count 4, 500, count 5, and 500, count 6. He is not to drive unless he has a license, insurance, and registration. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons as a condition of that SOB through the jail. Is there anything additional?
Nothing further from defense.
No, Your
Anything?
Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, Mr. Jackson. That concludes your case. I know you have a question. The best thing to do is to ask Ms. Kim. I'm giving you a signature bond, which means should be released from the jail shortly. Is there a question regarding the bond?
Please do not say anything. I'll call you, or you can call me, okay? Thank you.
Next, we have position number 11.
Oh, that we need to do that one at the end of the calendar, please.
Man, I didn't want to walk. I didn't want to.
Sir, I need you to calm down.
Next, we have position number 14, Lynch.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Lynch. Your case is 23 CR 007087Y. You're charged with disorderly conduct. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
18 total. Last arrest was 2023, DeKalb County, possession of a Schedule 2 controlled substance. He got a shoplifting out of DeKalb, probation out of Douglas County, theft by receiving. 2015, they gave him a 10-year sentence, 2 to serve, 8 probated. Got a hold out of Douglas County. Probation violation from this year, 2020. 2020 possession of meth conviction. 2019 probation. Want me to keep going?
Okay, that's sufficient. I guess you don't want to keep going.
No,
Mr.
we
Walker, that's okay. Mr. Walker, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 4689 Roswell Road, which is Balfour Chastain Apartments. They were alerted by several residents that lived at their complex that the defendant was throwing rocks and glass bottles at their window. The officer observed broken and shattered glass all throughout the sidewalk. At that time, the defendant was arrested. We are asking for a signature bond through the jail, a stay away from 4689 Roswell Road, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Okay, I'm sorry, you said through the jail?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. Ty, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. A signature bond through the jail is fine, and the terms staying away, that's fine. My client denies the allegations. He states that this case has already been disposed of and he's served the time for it, but a signature bond through the jail is what we would request.
All right. Defendant will receive a $5,000 SOB through the jail. He is to stay away from that location and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from the state.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case. All right, who do we have next?
Judge, we cleared the courtroom. We're gonna do position number 11, Johnson.
Your Honor, just for security reasons, can we do him now? We cleared the courtroom.
Okay, and Mr. Ty has requested a breakout first, so let's go into the breakout for position 11, and then we'll come back onto the record. Can I be placed in the breakout with Mr. Walker, Mr. Ty? Who else needs to join us?
I do, Your Honor, Casadakis.
All right, Ms. Casadakis. I'm sure Ms. Kim would like to join.
Going to
And
history.
I see. Sure. Give us the history.
Second adult arrest. He's been in custody since July on felony charges. Just so you know.
Okay. That is helpful. Thank you. All right. If we could be placed in the breakout, please.
And SG Denise as well, Your Honor.
Yes, so she's got
That
her
can
hand
also
raised.
be added.
And Miss Abden, of course, my second half, my better half, Miss Holly, needs to come as well.
I hope all these people aren't going to be disappointed once we get in this breakout room.
Well, Mr. Walker, we'll see when we get there.
See you soon.
See, we're going in there. We're going to see what we're doing. All right, defendant will receive a $6,000 SOB through the jail with no other conditions. That concludes your case, Mr. Johnson, okay?
Yeah, ma'am, thank you.
All right, take care. Behave.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
I'm sorry,
All right.
what about again?
6,000 SOB through the jail.
Come on, y'all.
Next, we have, position number 16, Mr. Martin.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Martin. Your case is 23 CR 007075Y. You're charged with battery, family violence, criminal trespass and damage, and criminal trespass. You understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard, can I have the history, please?
Second arrest, 2022 DUI open. It was level 2.
Level 2. Okay. All right, Ms. Dunlap, please proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident stems from November 4th at 3242 Peachtree Road Northeast. The victim, Miss Elena Ebby, wanted the defendant to stop visiting her, who had done so on several occasions. The defendant refused to leave. She left her apartment, spent an hour outside at a neighboring gas station. When she got back, she sat on her apartment studio's couch. She asked the defendant to leave again. He declined. She ended up grabbing, it looks like, linens from the mattress. The defendant stood up, turned the bed frame over, and hit her in the face with an unidentified instrument, cutting her upper right corner of her lip. He then started to trash her apartment, throwing furniture, leftover food from the fridge. He grabbed her pocketbook and tossed it from the 12th floor window. The state is looking for a signature bond through the jail, a stay away from 3243 Peachtree Road Northeast, no further contact with the victim, Elena Ebby, 1 day anger awareness, no guns, drugs, alcohol, weapons while on bond, and we can sound for the victim when appropriate.
Okay. I see Miss Ebby on the screen. If you'd like to make a statement, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury? Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
Oh.
All right. Again, if you disagree with the facts Ms. Dunlap just gave you, that's not what I am most concerned with today. What I'm most concerned with are any concerns you have for your safety and your desires for contact with the alleged victim. With the defendant. I apologize. In light of those instructions, what would you like to tell me?
I'd like to tell you that I'm not concerned at all about any like violence resulting from him, and I'd like to continue contact if possible. He's my best friend, and I don't think this one mistake should define him or his and yeah, like I would like to continue contact and for him to be able to visit me. So if that's possible, that would be great. His car is here. I went and picked up the car after his arrest. I just want the best for him, and I'm in contact with his family, and I've been in contact with him since he's been in jail. And yeah.
All right. Thank you for coming to court making that statement. Mr. Ty, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is a 22-year-old college student. He works every other semester, it sounds like, to be able to pay for school. He's a sophomore at Kennesaw State University. He has no violent history. I don't know why he's a level 2. It looks like he should be a level 1. So we're asking for a signature bond through the jail. And since Miss Ebby has requested, that with no further conditions.
All right. Hold 1 second. I'm so bad at math. Defendant is going to receive a $6,500 signature bond through pretrial services. I am going to accept pretrial's recommended level 2. It'll be $5,000 on count 1, $1,000 on count 2, $500 on count 3. He is going to take the 1 day anger awareness course, and he's going to have no further violent contact with the alleged victim. Is there anything additional? All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Martin. That concludes your case at this time.
Was that through the jail or?
He's got a signature bond through pretrial.
Thank you. Next, we have position number 6. Number 17.
All right. Are you Maurice McMillan?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your case is 23 CR 007088D. In this case, you're charged with battery family violence. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard.
Second arrest, Appears to have an open case out of Clayton County. It's for drug possession, sale of marijuana, distribution, possession of a Schedule 4, possession of meth. This was level 2.
Level 2. Okay. Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 3517 Oakshire Way, where they spoke to the victim, Ms. Fantasia Dawson. She advised that the defendant and her were engaged in a verbal altercation. They were having a disagreement over the choice of clothes she had on at that time. He did become physically aggressive with her and punched her in the face and the neck several times. We are asking for a surety bond. I'm sorry, a $2,000 surety bond. No contact with the victim, Fantasia Dawson, a stay away from the instant location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And of course, we would sign for the victim, Ms. Fantasia Dawson.
Okay, is Ms. Dawson present? I don't see anyone with that screen name. So, Mr. Ty, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is a 31-year-old. He's been living in Georgia his whole life. This incident occurred almost 1 year ago, November 25th, 2022. He denies the allegations. He states that he has not seen the complaining witness in over 4 months. The address, the incident location, 3517 Oakshire Way, is his home. He lives there with his mother and 13-year-old brother, who he cares for daily because the father of that child is not in his life. And so, because he has no violent history. So with the incident allegedly occurring at 1 year ago, we're just asking for a signature bond through the jail. He is a high school graduate and has attended some college at Georgia State University.
All right. Because the alleged victim is not here, I am going to order the no contact. Defendant is going to receive a $4,000 SOB through pretrial at the level 2 as recommended. I'm going to say that he has to stay away from that location should the victim still reside there. He can return with law enforcement to make that determination. And if she's still there, he must stay away. Otherwise, he can return to that location. He's going to take the 1-day anger awareness course and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional? All right, hearing none. Best of luck to you, Mr. McMillan. Ms. Payne, who do you represent? Attorney Payne, are you on? I see you on the screen. Who do you represent? You're muted. We can't hear you. You're still muted. I can't hear anything you're saying.
Okay, there we go. I represent Angelo Cruz. I had some issues signing on, so I signed on late, so I'm not sure if he's already been called.
I think we did do that one. And he received a signature bond through the jail, to my knowledge.
And pretrial diversion. I did not know that he had a private attorney.
Well, I just was retained like 30 minutes prior to the calendar. So, okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right.
If you want to give me your information, I can send you the diversion documents. I'm not sure if you're going to continue representing him.
Yes, I'll put it in the chat if that's okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
And if that concludes your business, Ms. Payne, you can be excused. Take care. Have a good day.
Thank you, too, ma'am.
All right. Who do we have next?
Next, we have position number 15.
Okay. Oh, that is also a breakout and needs to go last.
Okay. We'll go next. Next we have position number 23, Torre. Come on, Torre.
All right, Mr. Torre, your case is 23 CR 007091J. In this case, you're charged with battery, family violence. Do you understand your rights? All right, Mr. Howard.
Fifth arrest, 2015 disorderly conduct conviction. 2014 and 2013 malicious mischief. Disorderly conduct convictions. This is yeah.
Okay. All right, Ms. Casadakis, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Law enforcement responded to the incident address 2100 Godby Road, College Park, where they spoke with the victim, Joby Adama, who stated she got hit in the head. Officers observed a large knot in the middle of her head. When she came home, she noticed the defendant had been drinking. There was a verbal altercation, which then became physical when the defendant headbutted the victim. The victim fell on the floor and became very dizzy. And once she felt better, she called the police. The victim stated that she got hit so hard that level 8, that she can't recall if her husband headbutted her or if he just hit her with his fist. The defendant threatens to deport the victim if she calls the police several times. The officers then spoke with a defendant who smelled like alcohol and determined he was the initial aggressor. Let's see here. The state is requesting a $3,000 surety bond, a no further contact with JOBE, and then last name Adama, ADAMA, a stay away from the residence at 2100 Godby Road, College Park, a drug and alcohol evaluation, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. And at this time, the state would like to sound for the victim, Joby Adama.
All right, I'm sounding for Joby Adama at this time. If you'd like to make a statement, I will need you to turn on your camera. All right, hearing, I'm assuming that the statement is requested. Ms. Kim, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Teray is 50 years old, Your Honor, and he has been here in Georgia for more than 8 years. And his wife actually drives Uber, and my client has been working as a security officer at airport, and he's afraid that he lost his job by now. And Your Honor, he graduated from high school, and they do not have any child, and they have been living together for the last 8 years as a married couple. We would like to request for signature on bond through the jail as he is recommended, and that's about it, Your Honor.
Okay. Defendant will receive a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial. He's to take the 1-day anger awareness course. I'm going to recommend level 1. He is to have no further contact with the alleged victim and stay away from that location. He can return one time with a member of law enforcement to get any items. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons as a condition.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Next, we have position number 20.
Okay, and let's position 20 is, I have Coradell Taylor, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, your case is 23 CR 007090F. You're charged with obstruction. Do you understand right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Howard.
2022 abandonment of dependent child. That was out of cause. Failure to appear, probation. That was the last arrest. Appears to be on probation in Fulton. Hold on, let me get the charges because they just put the case number down here. Burglary, participation in criminal street gang. 2022 probation, 2022 battery, 2021 theft by shoplifting, possession of drug-related objects, conviction. 2020 burglary, criminal damage to property. 2013 burglary conviction. This level is 3.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement actually recognized the defendant. He was at a gas station on Donnelly Hollowell Parkway. They recognized him as a wanted person. They attempted to make contact and to detain the person. At that time, he did resist arrest, and an additional warrant for obstruction was taken out. The state is seeking a signature bond through the jail. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
All right, I'm inclined to grant that, Ms. Kim.
No
Any
objection, Your
objection or
Honor.
anything else you'd like to add?
Nope, Your Honor, no objection.
All right, defendant will receive a $3,500 signature bond through the jail. He is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition.
Repeat that, Your Honor. You kind of was muzzled.
I'm sorry, 3,500 SOB through the jail.
Thank you.
All right, best of luck to you.
Next, we have position number 13.
Morning, Your Honor.
All right, good afternoon. This is Adrian Lewis.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your case is 23 CR 007085G. You're charged with criminal trespass and simple assault. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Howard.
24 total. This year I got a shoplifting, simple assault, simple battery on probation for those, and an ag assault. 2021 obstruction conviction. 2022 failure to appear. 2019 resisting criminal trespass conviction. 2019 possession of synthetic drug conviction. 2017 trespass conviction. 2015 invasion of privacy, and the 2015 trespass conviction. This was level 3.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Walker.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to Georgia Tech's campus, where they spoke to the victim. I believe her name is DeAndrea Bates. She advised that, DeAndrea Allen. She advised that she was loading things into her vehicle as she was leaving the premises, and the defendant walked up to her and asked for money. As she told the defendant she didn't have any money, he told her, I could just rob you. At that time, another employee came to her aid, and apparently the defendant and the other employee were engaged in a physical altercation. The state is seeking $1,000 surety bond on each count, and a stay away from Georgia Tech's campus, and no contact with the victim, DeAndrea Allen. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. Of course, we would sound for the victim, Miss Allen.
All right, Miss Allen, are you present and wish to make a statement? And I don't see anyone with that name. Mr. Ty, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. My client is 42 years old. He is homeless. He denies the allegations. He states, and actually he doesn't state, the warrant states that that he did ask for money and, allegedly made threats, but the physical altercation, even as stated in the warrant, is that the person who came to the aid of the complaining witness, Don Tavins-Berry, unprovoked punched my client. He had to be transported to Grady for those injuries. And another person, the girlfriend of the person who punched my client, had a gun and broke up, her boyfriend from my client. So we're asking, and my client right now is suffering with pneumonia for the last 2 months. He needs medical treatment for that. And so we're asking for a signature bond through the jail.
All right, defendant will receive $1,000 surety bond, $500 on each count. He needs to stay away from Georgia Tech's campus, and additionally have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from the state.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case. Who do we have next?
Next, we have position number 6.
I'm sorry, position 6. Didn't we do 6?
You mean 5 grade?
5 is.
I have that we did 6 already. Michael Grimes.
We did Michael Grimes.
We did that one, yes.
Who's sitting in the chair?
No, I'm sorry. This is Ryan Bailey. This is position.
Not on this calendar.
Position number 1, right?
Number 1, yeah.
Bailey. I thought you said Daly. Okay. Mr. Bailey, your case is 23 CR 007078J. You're charged with simple battery family violence. Do you understand your rights? All right, can I have the history?
34 total. 2021 probation. On probation out of Douglas County for shoplifting. 2019, they gave me 10 years. At Fulton, I got an ag battery. He got 9 years, 10 months in 2018. Couple of probation violations from 2021. 2019 riot and a penal institution conviction. This was level 3.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Dunlap?
Thank you, Your Honor. So this incident stems from July 20th. Officers responded to a dispute, apparently with weapons. They spoke to the victim, a Miss Shanae Waddle. She stated the defendant, who's her ex-boyfriend, struck her in the head with a chair. She was talking on the phone with her friend about changing the locks. Defendant's 2 children were there. Apparently he had been living there with his 2 teenagers, but he's not on the lease. He arrived back in the apartment in a rage. He had a key. He began to pack his things and yell at Miss Waddle. She grabbed her phone and pretended to call the police. When he saw this, he hit her in the head with a wooden chair. There was a video and it shows the defendant yelling at her and approaching her in an aggressive manner, then cuts off. In addition, 2 days after this, when the defendant, there was another battery with the same victim. I have a battery, it's a felony charge open for him. So the state is looking for a $5,000 surety bond, a stay away from 935 Marietta Street, no further contact with the victim is Shanae Waddle, family violence intervention program, and no guns, drugs, alcohol, or weapons while on bond.
All right, I'm sounding for Ms. Waddle. I don't see. All right, Ms. Abden.
Mr. Bailey was on a felony first appearance this morning, so he did not receive a bond, so he's going to be held on that felony, no bond regardless. And so we are asking for a signature bond, given the fact that he's not going to get out. He is 43 years old. He's been living in Georgia his whole life. Your Honor, his mom is very sick. He's been living with her and taking care of her since about 2021. He does not reside at the incident location and would not object to a no further contact. He does have 2 children and he has custody over those children, and they're not the complaining witness's children. They are 14 and 15. And he does have a familial and financial obligation to those children. He does deny the allegations as stated in the warrant, and I am requesting a signature bond.
All right, Ms. Abden. Defendant will receive a $2,500 surety bond. He's to have no contact with Miss Waddle. Was it Waddell? I'm sorry. And stay away from that incident location. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Is there anything further?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case. Who do we have next?
Next, we have position number 18.
Okay. Okay, is this Akil Rashid? All right, your case is 23 CR 007073E. In this case, you're charged with simple battery, family violence. You understand, right?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
Second arrest. Last arrest was last Friday for window tint. This was level 2. I guess the warrant may have been outstanding, which is why.
Okay, understood. Ms. Dunlap?
Thank you, Your Honor. This incident stems from, looks like March 24th. The defendant and his mother were watching, it looks like, the defendant's child with a Miss Candace Conway while she was at work. When Miss Conway returned to retrieve the child was throwing up, and she took the child to Hugh Spalding Children's Hospital, where this incident occurred, 35 Jesse Hill Jr. Drive. She expressed that the defendant was being verbally rude and started throwing gummy bears at her because she didn't let him know they went to the back room. She left the room and asked the charge nurse to ask the defendant to leave. They notified the social worker of this incident, and they told the defendant to leave the room. When the defendant got to leave, he reached over and slapped her and then left. The state is looking for a signature bond through the jail, no further contact with the victim, Candace Conway, family violence intervention program, a stay away from Miss Conway's home address, no guns, drugs, or alcohol weapons while on bond, and we could sound for the victim, Miss Conway, when appropriate.
All right, is Ms. Conway present and wishes to make a statement? All right, Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is a 29-year-old father of two. He firmly denies the allegations. I don't know why he's a level 2. We do agree with the signature on bond through the jail since he has no criminal history other than this arrest for a window tint. So we ask for a signature on bond through the jail. No further contact with Candace Conway is fine, and stay away from the Children's Hospital is fine as well.
All right. Defendant will receive a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. I'm gonna require him to take the 1-day anger awareness course, level 1. He is to have no contact with Ms. Conway and stay away from wherever she resides. Additionally, he's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. He can arrange transport of the child through a third party. Is there anything additional?
No.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case.
Next, we have position number 19.
All right, Mr. Tatum, your case is 23 CR 007076F. You're charged with criminal trespass and possession and use of drug-related objects. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
And Your Honor, is he I'm not sure if anyone spoke with him. I think he was supposed to be released to PAD yesterday. I just wanted to verify.
However, he had a felony hold. So we did a consent bond on him yesterday, but he has a felony hold, so he can't be released to PAD. The state has no objection to the same consent bond, just remove the condition of release to PAD. Because we don't know when he'll be released. So that's not a
okay. Okay, so he cannot, so he still has to get a bond.
Right. So it could be a signature bond, just
okay, yeah, okay. I'll at least put the history onto the record, Mr. Howard.
24 total. Last arrest was on the 7th of November. Possession of tools, identity theft fraud, loitering prowling, which is open in Superior Court. 2021 probation, 2016 battery DV, disorderly conduct conviction, 2013 failure to appear.
That's good. Okay. I know that we're the state and defense have consented to a signature bond, but Ms. Unlock, will you at least make me aware of the incident location and the allegation?
Yeah, it was a North End Peachtree MARTA station. He was just in the unauthorized stairwell.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Defendant will receive a $4,000 signature bond through the jail, $3,000 on count 1, and $1,000 on count 2. He is to stay away from MARTA. If he has an active suspension, he must comply with any MARTA suspensions. Additionally, he is to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. Is there anything additional or any objections?
No objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Tatum, best of luck to you.
Next, we have position number 24.
Okay. Are you Jaquavius Weary?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your case is 23 CR 007074D. You're charged with battery, family violence. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard, please put the history onto the record for me.
Third arrest. Last arrest was November 2nd. It was a fugitive from justice. 2015 possession of marijuana dismissed. Jail was the recommendation.
Okay. All right, Ms. Sandlot.
Thank you, Your Honor. So this case stems from June 11th. Officers were dispatched to 2040 Fleet Street regarding domestic dispute, They spoke to the victim, a Miss Takara Newby. Apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. She stated she got into a physical dispute with her children's father due to him gambling their bill money. He slammed her onto the bed as they fought. The two children were in another bedroom with the door locked and closed. She was able to call the defendant once the officers arrived, but he stated that he was gone already. He ended up scratching her right cheek and scratches on her chest. The state is looking for a signature bond through pretrial. No further contact with the victim, a Takara Newby. A stay away from 2040 Fleet Street. family violence intervention program, no guns, drugs, weapons, or alcohol while on bond, and we can sound for the victim when appropriate.
All right, Ms. Newby, if you are present, please turn on your camera and raise your right hand if you'd like to make a statement. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury? And you are muted, so we need you to unmute so that I can hear you say yes or no. You're muted. We can't hear you. Ms. Newby, we can't hear you. Okay. And I think Ms. Newby has frozen. We'll give her a few moments if we'll go back. Okay. Ms. Kim, I'll still hear from her, but if you'd like to proceed.
Your Honor, I believe this is a Riverside issue because he was arrested at Chatham County, Savannah area on November 2nd, 2023 for this particular charge. Over there, he was considered as a fugitive because he had a warrant from Fulton County. So he was arrested and got transferred to this location yesterday. So he has been in the jail for more than 12 days, Your Honor. And he's really, really upset because he's going to lose his job. He had a very good job as a conductor, but I believe he believes that he is fired by now. And that's going to cause a lot of challenges to his financial stage. Your Honor.
Before you go on, Ms. Kim, can we check the Riverside issue?
Please.
Miss Bridgewater
Yes,
and Miss Dunlap, will you check for me and tell me how long he's been booked in on this particular charge?
Yes.
Oh, he's been booked in on this particular charge in our jail for 2 days. I don't know if council has any documentation, but the only documentation I have says November the 14th. So, I mean, if she has something she would like to present to the court, I'll be glad to take a review of it, but that's all
I try to contact, but I don't have I don't have anything else.
Yeah, I don't think that would be sufficient, but
So Odyssey says only 2 days.
says the 14th, Your Honor. So it's counting yesterday and today, but it hasn't even been a full 48 hours.
Okay. Okay. And my calendars no longer have the information that they once had about the time booked in.
11:09 a.m. yesterday.
Okay. Ms. Bridgewater, while I let Ms. Newby speak, if you see anything different, please let me know. Ms. Newby, I could not hear you. I need you to raise your right hand again. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. What would you like to tell me?
I was trying to see, can I drop the no contact? We have kids together. We still are around each other, and I would like to see if it's possible to drop the no contact. We haven't had any physical issues since then.
Okay. I appreciate you coming to court and making that statement. Okay, other than your Riverside concerns, Ms. Kim, go ahead and please put the rest of your argument onto the record.
Yes, Your Honor. And he resides with his mother. They do not live together, Your Honor, and they have child together, Your Honor. So we would like to definitely have a third party transfer for children. And he strongly prefers to have no further violent contact. This happened about 5 months ago, June 11, 2023. Even after this, they have been contacting and co-parenting their 3 children. So we would like to request for a signature on bond through jail with a no further violent contact. Thank you.
All right. And all right, I don't believe we have information to prove the Riverside concern. So defendant is going to receive a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial services. He is to take the 1-day anger awareness course and have no further violent contact with the alleged victim. Additionally, he's to have no alcohol, no drugs, and no weapons. Is there anything additional?
The level.
Level 1.
You're done.
Position 25, Williams.
Okay. All right, Mr. Williams, your case is 23 CR 007094J. In this case, you're charged with simple battery of family violence. Do you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard, can I have case history, please?
Fourth arrest, 2023 Henry County, theft by taking. That was from March. 2022 suspended license, and before that was in the 90s. Level 2.
Okay. All right, Ms. Casadakis?
Yes, Your Honor, law enforcement responded to 720 Hank Aaron Drive, Atlanta, Georgia. They spoke with the victim, Kimberly Tennyson, who stated the defendant is her live-in boyfriend. There was a verbal altercation that turned physical when the defendant put his hands around her neck and choked her. She was not able to breathe, but she did not lose consciousness. When she began coughing, that's when he removed his hands off of her. The victim should be on Zoom. The victim is terrified, Your Honor. She stated that the defendant has been trying to call her from jail, but she hasn't talked to him. And then she got some text messages from somebody acting on his behalf, threatening her that if she doesn't drop the charges, just texting her, harassing her, to drop the charges. Otherwise, he's gonna press charges. And he has been abusive for years. The state's recommendation, Your Honor, is a $3,000 surety bond, a no further contact with Kimberly Tennyson, FVIP course, stay away from the incident location, no drugs, alcohol, or weapons while out on bond. And Your Honor, if we can sound for the victim, Kimberly Tennyson, she should be on Zoom.
All right, Ms. Tennyson, if you're present and wish to make a statement, this is your opportunity to do so. I just need you to turn on your camera. All right, I don't see her here. So, Ms. Kim?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Williams is 42 years old, and I don't have any written proof yet. He had a speeding ticket at Twiggs County. I tried to contact them and try to get something in writing to prove my Riverside argument. However, I was not able to do so. However, he has been incarcerated from November 11 until now. I just want to make sure that Your Honor considers the fact that he's been incarcerated that long. Your Honor, he is denying the allegation to the point that as soon as he gets out of the jail, he will file for making a false report against her. He's going to make a police report because he claims that he was not even there. There was a phone call between them, however, not a physical contact. Your Honor, that place, the incident location is her location. They do not have any children together. They do not live together. And my client is indeed married happily for about a year. And my client denies that they were 10 years old, 10 years couple at all. That was not the case. My client has 4 minor children, Your Honor. So he really has to keep his job to financially support them. And yet he's going to have a very hard time to keep his job if he doesn't get out of the jail really, really fast. And the phone that was ringing in the previous presentation, that was his sister who wanted to testify that Mr. Williams was with him. But anyway, I don't know whether she's still here at the Zoom, but I just wanted to let you know that he's not going to be qualified if he still has a job. Otherwise, he will be qualified for public defender services, and he has an associate degree, Your Honor. There was a restraining order against her that he filed on 2018, even though he did not go through until the end. It is my client who does not want to have any contact with her. Thank you.
All right. Defendant will receive a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. He is to take, at level 2, as recommended. He is to take the 1-day anger awareness course, have no contact with Ms. Tennyson, and stay away from wherever she resides. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nope.
Not for the state, Your
Nothing
Honor.
for me.
All right.
Judge, what
Yes.
was the dollar amount?
3,000.
Position 4, Curtis.
Who was that through? For some reason, you sounded muzzled.
Pretrial level 2.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, level, are we at the bottom of the calendar? This is one that we're requested to take at the end.
Okay, position 15, Mr. Mahachi.
Same problem. Is this the end of the calendar?
He needs a breakout as well
Yes.
for position 15. And
About 21.
I do have announcements, but I can say it towards the end. So if you're ready to hear the announcements, that's fine, Judge.
We can hear the announcement.
And 22, Your Honor. Monica Thomas.
Okay. I'm ready for the announcements.
Position 5 is a medical reset.
Okay.
Position 8, they paid their bond.
Okay, bonded out.
Position 9 also paid their bond.
Okay. Is ACDC gonna on at some point? Do we know? I have a note that Ms. Kim needed to speak to somebody who was at ACDC.
That was Thomas, Monica Thomas.
Position 22.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's over 21?
We did not have Joshua Thomas at our pool sheet this morning.
So someone needs to speak to him too.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, and I don't have his history because it wasn't on the pull sheet.
He was not.
Position 21 was not on our pull sheet. Is he still needed?
I think so.
Calendar.
He's on the calendar.
Okay, it says, they said he bonded out, position 21.
What number was that?
Position
21.
21.
Okay, thank you.
What about 22 at ACDC?
And those other two.
They should be at ACDC. I can call them, see if they're gonna pick up.
Okay. While you call ACDC, we'll go ahead and go into the breakout for the other position.
And Your Honor, I have a client, Rosario Lewis, and I didn't see him on the calendar.
Neither did I. Was that upgraded or NOD'd?
Nah, was he on the pool sheet?
Yeah, he was on there.
Oh, I see an Adrian Lewis. You said this is a Rosario Lewis?
Rosario.
For Mr. Lewis, he needs to be added on the calendar. And also Mr. Justin Miller.
I was about to ask about Justin Miller because I interviewed him and he was in the pool sheet.
Miller is a felony.
Okay, he's upgraded. Okay.
No, the amount taken is felony, so he should be on felony.
Okay.
But is he also on misdemeanor?
The 17 CR 01705 F.
No, they had him on misdemeanor pool sheet, but he should have never been on misdemeanor's pool sheet. He should only be on felony.
Right.
So he's
okay. I'm sorry. Well, we missed the announcement. We got swept into the breakout. So the two people who are added do not need to be on today's calendar.
So Justin Miller is fully upgraded, is that correct?
So I spoke with Mr. Jordan. Justin Miller should not be on today's calendar. That was a felony warrant. I was told that
Y'all
was
please be quiet.
I was told that was a felony warrant to begin with. So that was a error that he was added, Justin Miller. Now the other defendant with the last name of Lewis, I do not have an announcement and I need further clarification on that person.
Ian, I just sent you an email.
Okay, thank you.
I apologize. Miss Kim, do you have any information for Mr. Miller's family member?
Mr. Miller, I do have his mom's address and
Could you please put it
phone number. I can
please put it in the chat for me, please. Thank you. To me personally.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you, Ms. Abden.
And Your Honor, I also have an announcement for position 5. Derek Howard was able to speak with him at the jail. So I will send a waiver and we can handle it on the calendar whenever you'd like.
Okay, we'll do it at the end. Okay, so let's be clear, we're waiting on one position at ACDC. We're waiting on one other position that remains on the calendar that was not on the pull sheet that needs to be brought. And there's no add-ons. All the other add-ons have been upgraded to felony. Is that correct?
Well, the Lewis person, it looks like they need to appear on the calendar, and I believe I accused this case.
Okay, so Lewis needs to be brought and interviewed, and so does, what was that position?
I was able to interview Lewis.
So we have
Okay.
Lewis, so we actually have him. Come on, Mr. Lewis.
What is the first name that y'all are inquiring about? I'm sorry, Judge Williams, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Rocalio.
ROCARILLIO.
And I don't have a case number or
I found
account.
it this morning, but there's not a CR number that's been assigned.
I'll look into it while you all are in the breakout.
Thank you.
All right. We'll go back to the breakout then.
Ooh, I got a headache.
That's a breakout comment, Mr. Walker. Yeah.
All right, go. How do I go back, Miss Bridgewater?
Huh?
How do I go back? Oh, are we going to the breakout room? I'm sorry.
We are.
We waiting to be placed in the.
Oh, I thought you could
click join breakout. Click join.
I will. Y'all don't see it because y'all are all in the breakout room.
Yeah,
for
I
two.
don't see it. That's what I was trying to say.
No, No, we're still right here together.
Yeah.
One big happy family.
We have each other.
I'm just about to close out all of them and put everybody back in there.
Okay.
It shows that y'all are in there.
Okay, that would work. Thank you.
What are we doing here?
They said they weren't in the room, so I had to close it out so that I could put everybody back
Thank
in
you.
there.
And it's just me and you, I guess.
Everybody, no, Judge is still here with us.
Uh-oh,
I'm also here.
okay.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
It's okay. Also, sorry, I thought I was muted earlier, so.
Uh-uh.
All right, we were able to discuss position 4 in breakout. Defendant is going to receive a $10,000 surety bond. He is to have no contact with the alleged victim, initials MW. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons as a condition of that surety bond. And as a reminder, he'll be reset to state all purpose on the 28th of November.
Who was that?
Position 4, Mr. Curtis,
How much was that?
10,000 surety. And then on position 15, defendant is going to receive a $10,000 signature bond through the jail. He is to have no further, oh, actually, I guess there's no conditions. We don't have a victim name, really, do we? No further, well, I'll just say no further violent contact with the alleged victim, and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. All right. As to the ACDC position, is ACDC on the line? Are they coming?
Judge, we just found out that they are housed in medical, so they should be getting interviewed and then they'll be brought down shortly for a position. I believe her name is Monica Thomas. Yes. Monica
Okay.
Thomas.
And Ms. Kim needs to interview her. Okay. We can do the waiver then in the meantime. Position 5 was a waiver, Ms. Abden?
Yes, it was.
All right. We'll take.
Was it sent over to me, Miss Afton?
It was not. I'm about to send it over to you now.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. It was supposed to be a medical reset, but Mr. Howard went to go see him.
Okay.
All right. Mr. Gray's case is 23 CR 007092G. He's waived his appearance. In this case, he's charged with battery, obstruction, and pedestrian in the roadway. Mr. Howard, do you have the history?
2021 battery, 2021 resisting officer, in penal institution conviction, 2020 failure to appear, also a possession of stolen vehicle, 2020, 2018 obstruction conviction, 2016 simple assault, ag assault, terrorist threats conviction, 2015 theft by receiving conviction, terrorist threats NOLO, 2013 simple assault conviction.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Walker?
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to a fight call at 1328 Peachtree Street, where they spoke to the victim, Mr. Ernest Clark. He advised that the defendant offered or asked him to buy crack. Apparently, some type of verbal disagreement occurred. At that time, the defendant did strike the victim for refusing to buy said drugs. The state is simply asking for a signature bond through the jail, no contact with the victim, Ernest Clark, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond.
Okay. A signature bond to the jail, Ms. Walker? Okay. Ms. Abden?
No objection to a signature bond through the jail. He's a longtime resident of Georgia. He also told Mr. Howard that he is a PAD client and he has a caseworker. So he will continue to be working with PAD, but it's not a PAD case. He also receives SSI and is going to get reconnected for outpatient MH treatment.
Okay. So in light of the PAD information, I will accept the recommendation to give him the SOB through the jail with no contact with the alleged victim. So defendant will receive a $3,000 SOB through the jail, $1,000 each count. He's have no contact with the alleged victim and have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing else. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And have we got a case number yet for Lewis? I'm assuming no.
Let me check again. I
I'm
found it.
sorry, what, did y'all ask me a question?
Was there a case number for Lewis? Yeah.
Well, I wasn't able to find out, Judge, I'm be honest, nobody was around. I was looking for Mr. Jordan and the person there was nobody for me to ask. So no, at the time that I looked, no, there was not.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not reflecting on Odyssey, but I did file it down this morning. So
Can it be pulled, Ms. Strong?
Just give me a second, I'll try again. Can y'all circle back around to me?
We can, but
In a
there's
minute.
nothing else to circle to.
Okay, okay, well,
I actually have a question.
okay, great, I'll be back.
Your question is out there.
So this is for the consent order from yesterday. So given that PAD is not part of it anymore, am I just going to take that part out? I just wanted to confirm with, I guess, Mr. Walker and the court.
It would just be a SOP through the jail.
Okay.
And we won't reference PAD because they're not something to get.
Exactly. I just wanted to confirm it wasn't the exact same thing as yesterday. Thank you.
Okay, well, we're going, Ms. Bridgewater, do you want to review the calendar? And I'm almost afraid for us to do that. But would you like to review the calendar while we wait for
If you all would like for me to.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, well, let's do it. Once again, the reset date for the SAP calendar is going to be November the 28th. Position number 1 is going to the SAP calendar with a $2,500 good bond. Position number 2 is being reset till tomorrow. Position number 3 is reset further notice with a total $5,000 SOB through the jail. Position 4 is going to that SAP calendar with a $10,000 good bond. 5 is reset further notice with a total $3,000 SOB through the jail. 6 going to the
Your
SAP.
Honor, I was able to interview Monica Thomas. So I just wanted to let everybody know about that.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Kim. Ms. Bridgewater, please continue.
Okay, position number 6 is going to the SAP calendar with a $1,000 good bond. Position 7, reset further notice with a total $6,000 SOB through pretrial. Position 8 is being reset further notice as the defendant was released. Also, that's the case for position number 9, reset further notice. 10 is being reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through the jail. 11, reset further notice with a $6,000 SOB through the jail. 12, reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through pretrial, and I marked on there per judge. 13 is going to the SAP calendar with a total $1,000 good bond. 14, reset further notice with a $5,000 SOB through the jail. 15, reset further notice with a $10,000 SOB through the jail. 16, reset further notice with a total $6,500 SOB through pretrial. 17, reset further notice with a $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 18, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. 19 is reset further notice with a total $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 20, reset further notice with a $3,500 SOB through the jail. 21 is reset further notice as the defendant has been released. 22, we're gonna come back to with Ms. Kim. 23, reset further notice with a $4,000 SOB through pretrial. 24, reset further notice with a $2,500 SOB through pretrial. 25, reset further notice with a $3,000 SOB through pretrial. And 26, reset further notice with a $4,000 SOB through the jail. Any questions, comments, or otherwise? No? Okay.
I'm back.
All righty.
Mr. Lewis's case number is 23 CR 007-095. A is an apple.
And what is he charged with? Well, Ms. Walker, you can tell me, what is he charged with?
So I'm pulling up Odyssey now. He's charged with, I have so many screens open.
All right, Mr. Lewis,
Simple
I'm not,
battery, family violence.
battery, family violence?
Simple battery.
Simple battery.
Okay, Mr. Lewis, in the case the case number we just read, you're charged with simple battery, family violence. Do you understand your rights today? All right, Mr. Walker, I believe, wait, Mr. Howard, did you say you do not have the history?
I do. What's the spell the first name for me?
ROCARLLIO.
All right, arrest number 10. We got a 2017 suspended registration, making false statement pertaining to vehicle insurance, suspended license, 2011 battery conviction. The other violent charges I saw were dismissed. This was level 1.
Okay.
In this case, law enforcement was dispatched to 3021 Middleton Road, where they spoke to the victim, Miss Tiffany Hood. She advised that her and her child's father, who was the defendant, were engaged in a physical altercation. She was walking from the bus stop back to her home. He pulled up on the side of her in a vehicle, got out of the vehicle, and physically assaulted her, punching her several times. The state is asking for a signature bond through pretrial services. No contact with Miss Tiffany Hood. Stay away from the incident location, 3021 Middleton Road. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond, and an anger awareness class. At this time, I will sound for Miss Tiffany Hood.
All right, is Ms. Hood present or wishes to make a statement? All right, I don't seeing and hearing none. Mr. Ty?
Yes, Your Honor. My client is a 44-year-old father of 5. He's actively involved with the care of his children. He's permanently disabled. He has a rod in his neck. He is a level 1, so we're asking for a signature on bond through the jail. He's fine with the no further contact and stay away from the 3021 Middleton Road. He does deny the allegations. He states that the officer involved is the complaining witness's boyfriend.
Defendant will receive a $4,000 SOB through pretrial. He is to take the 1-day anger awareness course and have no contact with Ms. Hood and stay away from wherever Ms. Hood resides. Additionally, he's to have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. And if I didn't already say it, he's going to take that 1-day anger awareness course. Anything additional?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case. And we're now holding for Ms. Thomas to be brought.
Actually, she accepted. I guess we have to wait until she comes. I apologize, but did you receive the email, Mr. Walker?
I haven't checked, but if you sent it, I'm sure I have it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Thank you.
Hey, Miss Kim, did you guys waive her appearance?
She waived my appearance, but I thought he changed to
I
kind
thought
of
we didn't need it
cell
because
phone.
you put her in a diversion program. I thought it was a diversion program. So I think we didn't need her. We still need to put her on camera.
No, she said she waived her appearance. You said you waived
But
her.
then he changed to put the phone into her medical cell, I
He
guess.
wants to be brought, is what I'm hearing.
Okay, they're going up with the phone, so she'll be done shortly.
Now, Ms. Kim, I see where you sent me this diversion intake form. So we're still doing a bond order on this, Judge?
I believe we still have to know.
Yes, that is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, yeah.
Your Honor.
Yes.
Can I be excused? I'm concluded. I'm done for the day.
Miss Dunlap, you want to leave us? The rest of us would like
And we're having so much fun. How? Come on.
Miss Dunlap, come on now. All right, you can be. Take care. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Mr. Howard, you can't leave us either. Now, this is not how this works. You want to leave us, Mr. Howard?
He always wants to leave, Judge.
I see.
She's here.
Okay, thank you. All right, Miss Thomas. Are you Monica Thomas? Can Miss Thomas hear me? Miss Thomas, can you hear me? Okay, it's frozen and connecting.
Can you hear us, Your Honor?
Yes, we can hear you. Miss Thomas, can you hear me? All right. Ms. Thomas, your case is 23 CR 007089H. In this case, you're charged with simple battery, theft by taking, and simple assault. You have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney at this proceeding. This particular proceeding is broadcast over the internet. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can watch. Do you understand your rights and how I'm conducting it?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Mr. Hart, you have the history?
Second arrest. Last arrest was in New Jersey. Criminal attempt, hindering, or obstruction by force. It was level 1.
All right. Ms. Casadakis, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Law enforcement responded to the McDonald's on Roswell Road. Defendant was in the driveway, in the drive-through, getting her food, where a verbal altercation happened with the employee who worked there. So when the employee was handing her her food, she threw a cup full of milkshake on the victim. The victim then threw the cup back at the defendant. The defendant got aggravated, went inside the restaurant to confront the victim, placing the victim in fear. The defendant was looking for the victim, couldn't find her, then walked beyond the counters, finally gave up looking for the victim. And then on her way out, she took other people's fast food bags and drove away. This case, Your Honor, was referred to diversion. The state will be asking for an SOB through the jail, a no further contact with the victim, Carolina Amastal. 1 anger management awareness course, a stay away from McDonald's located at 591 Holcomb Bridge Road. No drugs, weapons, or alcohol while on bond. And if we could sound for the victim, Carolina Amastal, Your Honor.
Is Ms. Amastal present and wishes to make a statement? I don't see anyone with that name. Ms. Kim, in light of the information before me, I am inclined to give the SOB jail. Do you have anything additional you'd like to add?
I would like to object to 1-day anger awareness class, since this is through jail.
Okay, that's fair. I wasn't going to do that necessarily. All right, defendant will receive a $3,000 SOB through the jail, $1,000 each count. She's to have no contact with Ms. Amastal. Stay away from where Ms. Amastal resides. And I'm sorry, what was the address of that McDonald's? She should stay away from that McDonald's as well.
591 Holcomb Bridge Road, Roswell.
All right. And additionally, she should have no drugs, alcohol, or weapons. All right, that concludes your case, Ms. Thomas. Best of luck to you. And I believe that concludes the entire calendar.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, everyone, take care and have a great afternoon. Thank you.